Watch the ride.
Hey everybody, let me just get this out of the way. This is the motor out of my washing machine that I destroyed. Amazingly, because it had a belt on it, none of the forces were transferred to this other than maybe some of the shaking. So in theory, this motor is absolutely fine. I don't know what the hell I'm ever going to do with it. But there are ways to make rock tumblers out of these, and that is something I've always considered doing. So I'll keep hold of this for now. Anyway, I have parcels to open, and one of them is it's alarming me. Honestly, if you have a workspace and you need to hold things down, you can do it by screwing them down. Having replaceable worktops like this is such a good idea. I'm so glad I went to this, because you can just destroy it and not care about it, screw things into it, and then when it gets completely haggard and destroyed, you just get a new bit. Right, found my knife and get on. Okay, so the first thing I've done recently is I've, this made me laugh, I ordered another 6 metres of 6mm mild steel rod, but they delivered it with a piece of wood. By the way, this is 3 metres long. I mean, it goes, that's not even a quarter, yeah, it's 3 metres of it. But they delivered it on a massive piece of wood. So thanks for the wood, but it actually in reality is this stuff, you know, this mild steel rod, 6mm. That's what I make a lot of things out of. And the other thing I did to be smarter is, I used to buy my aluminium sheets that were about this wide, and my clock faces tend to always be 20 centimetres or less. And that meant that you'd never have enough this side to use, so I'd end up keep throwing away that amount of aluminium. So what I did was I ordered some custom sizes that actually worked out being cheaper the way that I buy it. So what I've done is I've ordered it in this width, because that's about the maximum width I ever use. And then when I cut a clock face out, the most I'm going to lose is maybe 1 inch off this side. And as I say, it worked out quite a lot cheaper doing it that way. One side of it is a bit more scratched than I'd like to see, but it doesn't matter because I finish all sides. Because these aluminium plates, basically, what I do is I hand cut out the template, the circle for what goes in the back of the clock, or the whatever shape it has to be done into, and then hand Dremel it with a die grinder between my knees, literally going zzz, 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 to make it the size and the shape that I need it. And then it gets hand polished and then lacquered and blah blah blah. And you can now see why the clocks take so long. Anyway, I've had 2 parcels. How? That's just funny, actually. This arrived yesterday. And I've just noticed it's from Parcelforce and it's to my PO box. That shouldn't work. Remember? That is not possible. But obviously the Parcelforce facility has now got just so sick and tired of sending me letters to say, hey, you know, come on, can you let us know where you live? They now know. But I did speak to them a while ago and say, look, if you get anything come to this PO box, just know it's this address. Is there any way of remembering that? And they were like, we can try. So fair play to Parcelforce for doing that and actually delivering it. It seems like the PO box will be saved now. I'm going to keep it for at least the next 6 months, and that means I'll have to start doing commissions relatively soon, or at least jump on top of everything. I needed it anyway as a return address. It's very important. I didn't know quite what I was going to do without it, but I was going to well, I'll just have to manage. But thanks to you guys through Patreon, that looks like it's going to be okay. If you want to support me through Patreon, please do. And if you don't feel the need to, then don't worry. There are plenty of people that thankfully are. All I ask of you is if you can leave a like on videos. We have a note. Let's find out. Can I read this on video? I think I can read this. Hello Spicy, don't be fooled by the big box. It's only a little something. I've tried to clean these the best I can and have painted the something black doing so. The chain and sprockets off my Handmade RHW125. Hope these are of use to you. Love the vids and the sculptures. Keep up the good work. All the best, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Very kind of you. You don't have to clean things up. I don't expect people to do that. That is clean in my book. I'd eat off that. It's got a lovely colour to it. You've tried to clean them the best you can. These are gleaming. That would be wire wheeled anyway. And I won't go in there, but that's obviously the chain. And that's absolutely fine, I can clean that. That is awesome. Matching sets are always handy because I can make those welded clocks out of them. And that would make quite a good size one, I reckon. Maybe? I think so. See how clean I can get that, because obviously I have to weld it. Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much. It is not just a little something, it's the possibility of making a whole new clock. keep the note with it so I know what goes to what. There's something I need to, organisation, that is something I'm going to be doing in 2019. Organising myself way better. Managing my time better, like having set days to do things, because when I wake up in the morning I'm like, what do I need to do today? But if I've got to go and do boat work, it's easy because I just go and do boat work. But if it's an option of making videos or doing clocks or doing this or doing that, I sometimes am a bit sort of, I don't know, I'll try and do everything and it doesn't really work. So I need to set out like a, today you're doing this, today, the next day you're doing that, and commit my time, and I think I'll be more efficient that way. Now I'm going to get onto something I'm really excited about. You might be able to tell. This has arrived, and it's either the best troll ever, and it's cruel, or someone has been ridiculously kind. Basically, this has a, right, oh god, I need the Jubilee clip of truth. There we go, look how much height we've got now. I've just put a Jubilee clip on the wall-mounted tripod mount thing I made for the garage. Great idea. Basically, this says welding machine on the side of it, and after a recent discussion, I can only imagine this is one thing. And I don't quite know how to take. I'm just going to open it. Okay, let me just. This might be a load of bricks, and the biggest troll I've ever. It's not a load of bricks. Parcelforce Express, another one from Parcelforce that wasn't supposed to get here this way, but it worked. Thank God. Okay, so we've got an earthing lead, and this is an arc welding attachment for stick welding. That's something I can't do. The only welder I've got at the moment is MIG, which basically is it has a copper wire inside the tube, and carbon dioxide and argon mix is blown through the tube with all that, and then an arc is made through the metal, and that's MIG welding, and it adds steel. But with stick welding, everything you need is in that pot, that stick, so you literally don't need any gas or anything. You can just. I've never done stick welding, never had the opportunity, so I guess I can try it. It's very good at penetration. Hold on, I reckon that's not. Is it? Have I still got that? No, I got rid of it. I think there's one of the masks in here. Wire brush and tapper for cleaning stuff up. Oh! 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 Oh my god! If you don't know what this is yet. This is a TIG welder. TIG is different from other sorts of welding. With normal welding, you can only weld steel, basically. With this, you can do aluminium if you reverse the polarity in a MIG welder, and there's some weird things you can do with that. But this basically is a constant arc, which is very hot and very controlled and very small, and you can melt the metal and then you add with a rod. So, you know, all the pretty welds you see, all the TIG welding stuff, this is the thing that does it. This is a game changer when it comes to this. There's some things that I've been wanting to make that I could now make. There are jobs like when I was making the stand for clocks, a TIG welder would make it a million times easier. And obviously this person has heard the fact that I wanted to get a TIG welder at some point this year and decided to just buy me one. And I don't know how to take that. It's so generous. And I try and understand why someone would be so kind and so generous to me, and I just have to accept the fact that obviously somehow I've helped them, or in some way they wanted to help someone else, and you have. I mean, like, I'm slightly choked that someone would do this. I wish I knew who you were. And if you're going to come forward and let me know, please do. It's so light! Oh my god! It is. I can show you one. Hang on. I don't know if I ever showed you this. My other MIG welder, which is, again, it's a budget welder, but it's really good. They give you a, well, if you haven't got a mask, at least here's one. And this is this like mask you make yourself and you hold it. That's why I recognise this handle. And you put a piece of glass in there and you're like, yeah, they're rubbish. But thankfully, I have a nice welding mask, so I don't need to worry about that one. But it does mean I've got a second piece of glass, and you can put those over camera lenses and stuff to take pictures of welding, so that's handy in itself. So it's a RHOK? I don't know, RHOK? I don't know how you pronounce that weirdo. RHOK? What we got on the back? We got the input for the gas, which is argon, so I'll have to sort that out. That's an earth from the looks of it. Front end. So you've got earthing lead, stick welding, TIG. That's why it's got a hole in it. I don't know if you can see that. There's a hole in that one because that's where the gas has got to come out. The stick welding hasn't got that, obviously, because you don't use gas. And then that's the controller. And then you've got amp ratings, current. Very simple, but man. Oh my god. Now, I am going to have to get argon gas. Hang on. I'm going to find out. Okay, so I've just got off the phone with a company that do hobby gas. Some of you guys told me about hobby gas as a place you can get gas from, and it's brilliant. It's nothing like BOC, who just rip you off. It's definitely made for people like me who don't need huge quantities of things. And they do a 9-litre bottle, which is £60 deposit, and then it's like 45 plus VAT. So it basically about 110 quid gets you your first bottle filled, and then after that the refills are about 50 quid. And that works out quite a lot cheaper than the disposable bottles of CO2 I was using. Thankfully now, my brother actually, because he does welding as well, but we have this giant, basically pub bottle of carbon dioxide that I use for welding now. And I've got like an unlimited supply of that. So I can get a big bottle of argon so I can use this, and it won't be too expensive. Also, I mean, TIG welding is expensive. I mean, I'm also going to have to get fill rod. Okay, so these, what size are these? Got 2.4, 2.43, 2. Okay, so you get different collet sizes for your electrode, because you have a tungsten electrode in here. Screw from there. Was there a collet already? Oh, there's a collet already in here. What's that? That's a 1.6. Oh, okay, so right, you get your material, whatever size it is. That goes in there. Ah! Then this screws in here, and basically this is like a protector for the remaining rod, because you will use up the tungsten rod that's inside here, and you have to basically loosen it off, take it out, resharpen it, put it back in. I have spent years learning about TIG welding, so I'm not a complete... I've never physically done it, but I know a lot of the theory. I suppose, in theory, that means you could use you can get a foot switch as well that you just plug in instead, because some people like the finger ones and some people prefer the foot ones. I'll learn that as I go. What was I? Where was I? I'm getting all excited looking at new stuff, and I don't know what I was saying. Yeah, I just need to get the gas, order some tungsten rods, and I can start playing with this, learning and trying stuff out. I don't know, as I say, I don't know who you are, I don't know how I can thank you, other than to say that, my God, thank you. Just checked, this has got hot start on it, it's high frequency, so I don't have to worry about scratch start. Basically, scratch start is where you have to start the weld by touching the electrode to the material, and it's not as clean as a start. With high frequency starts, basically at the beginning it boosts the voltage up, so it makes the connection, the arc connection, and then it lowers it down. This has got a few little smart things in it, and I've had a quick look at the reviews, and people say this is an absolutely fantastic little machine. This is exactly what I would have bought myself had I bought one. It's just far enough up the range to have all the features that you want, and not be superly expensive. And it will 100% do everything that I need it to do. So I can't do much more than just say thank you and just hope you realise how deeply I mean that. I mean, I could tattoo thank you on my arm, but I don't think it's gonna work. There's a bruise. How did I bruise my arm? Having said that, I've got a bruise on my knee. I discovered because I hit myself on the knee when I was taking the washing machine apart after it won. I won in the end. Trust me. It's now in 5 or 6 pieces, so it's easy to get in a car. Kind of sad. But the thing I didn't tell. Oh, and of course you won't know this, right? 10 minutes after I finished filming the washing machine video, it kind of imploded on itself. The top bracket gave way, the drum dropped a little bit, and the drawers stuck out from the front, and it looked so funny. But by that point I'd stopped filming, and I was just like, no, just leave it. I ripped the thing to pieces all the same. I hope, whether you see this through Patreon, if you're a patron of mine, or whether you see this through YouTube, please contact me. Please at least let me directly be able to say thank you to you, because I don't know what else I can do. I'm going to get that argon ordered as soon as possible, and we can start playing. We can start playing with stainless steel, aluminium. I in fact now have every single type of welder. I have MIG, TIG and ARC. The other nice thing about TIG welders, which people might not admit, is when you do MIG welding, if your MIG weld is a little bit big, it's a bit proud, it's a bit lumpy, you know, it's not quite right, you can actually smooth them out with a TIG welder, and it can mean, instead of, like, if you had a little sharp point, for instance, you might grind that off, and in grinding that off, you end up making two sharp edges that you now have to then round those, and yada 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 yada. With this, you could just melt that little pin and smooth it out. Oh, I will say now, because I know a lot of people can probably start telling me all about TIG and all the things they think I don't know. I'm not saying I'm an expert, because obviously this is the first TIG welder I've ever possessed, but I have spent 3 or 4 years watching videos in depth, trying to learn about as much as I can. So I have a fair idea about it, and I will say now, yes, TIG welding is not ideal for doing, well, it's not to be done on dirty materials, it doesn't work. So when it comes to like making welded clocks, I'll still MIG weld those. But when it comes to making clean things, stands, little sculptures, because that's something I can do now, is the little things are so much easier to weld together. My God, I tried making dragonflies and stuff out of nuts and bolts, and it was just too small scale to be able to do it with a MIG welder. But with a TIG, you can. So there's so many more options of things that I can do now, and should be a lot faster. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore, I'm going to shut up. But all of you that support me, whether that be through liking videos and sharing them, whether that be through the merch store, whether that be through Patreon, whether that be through PayPal, whether that be through whatever method, or people like this person, thank you so much. It shows people have faith in me, and I maybe should have a little bit more faith in myself. I'll catch you next time. I can't wait. I can't wait. If you enjoyed this video and the other content on the channel, please consider following the links in the description to show your support.